You know, I was just sitting here this morning thinking about fear. One of the really cool scenes in the original Karate Kid was John Kreese. He was the karate sensei for the Cobra Kai dojo. He stands there in the dojo and he's walking, he's pacing back and forth, he's talking to his karate students. He says, "Fear does not exist in the dojo, does it?" And they say, "No, sensei." He said, "Pain does not exist in the dojo, does it?" "No, sensei." "Defeat does not exist in the dojo, does it?" And they say, "No, sensei." He gets them all pumped up. Mark Twain says something really interesting. He said, "Do the thing you fear the most, and the death of fear is certain." What did Mark mean when he said that? He said, that death of fear. What he's talking about is we all have fears, we all have things that make us anxious, we all have things that stress us out. Do the thing you're afraid of first, and you can kill that fear. You have to, as Grant Cardone says, inoculate yourself against fear. In other words, you have to do something so often and overcome that fear step by step with massive action. Okay? Every day you got to do something you're afraid of. Brian Tracy, wonderful author on motivation and sales training, he talks in his book. It's called Eat That Frog. You guys should read that if you haven't read it yet. But he talks about this frog that sits on your desk. He said, if you have 100 things to do on your daily list and there's one thing that just terrifies you or you don't want to do it because you're afraid of it, he said, eat that frog first. So he said, if you had to look at that frog all day long, that frog is going to get slimier and greener and yuckier. Just get up and eat the frog, okay? Don't stress about the frog. Do that thing first that you're afraid of, and guess what? The rest of the day is going to seem a lot easier. One of my favorite scenes in, and by the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm a real movie buff, and I love movies that provide motivation for you and give you tools to work with. One of my favorite scenes is in Rocky Balboa. It's his final actual fighting movie before the Creed series took over and Creed started fighting. In Rocky Balboa, his son takes him out into the street and says, "Hey, I really don't want you to fight. It's making me look stupid, and I'm included in this crazy thing that you're doing." And he said, "You know, you ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. And I used to hold you up to the world and say to your mother that you're gonna be the best kid ever." And he said, "You grew up good and wonderful, and you turned out great." He said, "But then somewhere along the lines, you lost track of that. And you started letting people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good." He said, "Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits." You have got to be willing to take the hits. Get over your fears. Everybody gets hit in life, okay? Success is about taking those hits and taking them more often, falling over and over and getting back up. It's getting up over and over and over because you're going to get hit. There are things that are going to be happening in your life that don't happen to me. There are going to be things that happen in my life that don't happen to you. But it's about how often you can get up and keep moving forward. Overcome that fear. Keep moving forward. It's January now. We're about halfway through the month. Take the year of 2020 by storm by what you do in January. Take the year of 2020 by storm by what you do in February. Take the year of 2020 by storm by what you do in March. And take massive, consistent action. Find one thing you're afraid of to do today and do it. And I'm not talking about the things you're afraid of spiritually that would damage you. I'm talking about the things that you know are good for you that you're afraid to start. It might be going to the gym. It might be calling that one prospect that scares you to call. You don't have them right now anyways. Call them anyways. Get on the phone, make that phone call, call them. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Go inoculate yourself from fear and go crush it today.